So why am I not outside videoing this? I mean, yeah, it's rainy, it's damp out, but it's not raining, it's cold. I'm not afraid of cold. And how did my first full week of work go with full 8 hours? Let me tell you. Maybe this will give you an indicator. It did not. When I was planting my bucket garden, because of the nerve damage in my feet, I could not feel the fact that I had a very large deep bone ulcer developing on the ball of my foot. So when I went to change out my high compression hose the night before, getting everything ready for work, and then I normally soak my foot in Epsom salt in a whirlpool bath, I had this very shocking pain in my foot, and after further inspection, it didn't take a lot of looking, we found the sore. So next day to the doctor. After that, Unity Point Health, I was in the hospital at the wound care clinic. So here we go again. So I'm gonna put this on the tripod, sit down, relax, grab my coffee, and explain a little further what's going on. So, good Saturday morning. So my work week, yeah, it was work. Maybe for the doctors, you know, yanking and debriding my foot. Doesn't that sound like a wonderful term, debriding? Trust me, you don't want to see it or experience it. I'm gonna have a sip. So I came in here, I know I should have the foot up, elevated, had to take my medication and get my coffee. You gotta have morning coffee, French press coffee. So, boy, I earned this cup of coffee. I was hobbling like a wounded duck in the kitchen. Alright, so I'm going to try to, this is kind of informational in terms of really what's an epidemic in our country, and that's diabetes. Now, I'm not a diabetic, never have been. These past 2 years, because I did some unhealthy eating with my diet, let my weight get out of control, I kind of was knocking on the door of being a type 2 diabetic. And with the condition of my legs and feet due to, you know, surgery, corrective surgery, I couldn't risk on top of that the challenge of diabetes, you know, not only in healing the deep bone ulcers that hopefully not real frequently I get, but still there, I found out, you know, they're life-threatening, especially when they expose the bone. That the health risk of deep bone ulcers, I found out, is the same as prostate cancer and breast cancer combined. Boy, if that don't get your attention. Learned a lot of eye-opening factoids. Because one thing you do when you do any project, you research and you study about it. You get knowledgeable, so you understand the journey you're about to enter. What I'll do attached to this video is they're going to try something new. It's called a TCC cast, or total contact cast. It's a new method for healing foot ulcers, deep bone ulcers, and it kind of came about because of the last option for people with those, which I have been taking advantage of. Unfortunately, they found out causes cancer. Can you imagine that? So the last video I'll show where a doctor explains the risk factors or the choices a person makes, and that the benefits he feels outweighs the risk. And so this topical cream, it's a tissue growth enhancer. They claim you're allowed 3 applications or 3 tubes of it. And the FDA found out that it was cancer causing, or a high risk for cancer causing, if you exceeded more than 3 tubes of this product. Well, they came out with this about in, probably close to 2008. So in the course of 10 years, I've had maybe 4 or 5 deep bone ulcers, and it takes about 3 to 5 tubes to clear mine up. So I've probably had 15-20 tubes of this applied to a deep bone ulcer. So let's say they said only do 3, and old Busman, man, I went a whole hog. I had 15 tubes of it. I'm beginning to wonder that's why they removed a lot of tissue and had a pathology report done to see if I got any cooties. So the next latest greatest treatment that is cancer risk free is called a total contact cast. It's like a real heavy duty cast if someone breaks a leg, and then you're put in a boot that has spikes. The whole concept is to reduce any pressure points. So this thing's designed where the foot's immobilized in leg, and it's supposed to reduce any pressure points, because any pressure point on an open wound or ulcer stops the healing process. Actually promotes it to go deeper into the bone. And they said it's kind of cool in the fact that when a patient has one and they try to put their foot down, they said it's like your foot's floating in air. Which means too, they usually need a cane or crutches, because learning how to walk with it can be an experience in itself. Plus, the whole idea of immobilizing the foot and leg is, they don't want you walking, they want you to have that foot up and elevated. So that's kind of the skinny of it. So Wednesday, there's 2 tests you have to pass, and in the video I show one. It's called a blood flow test. They put blood pressure cups on your ankles and your big toes, and they actually hook it to a computer, and it monitors how much blood is actually truly flowing in your feet. So you have to have a certain flow rate for this cast to work. Otherwise it could have a negative effect. And the other thing too is you can't have any nasty cooties, because if you do and you put your foot like that in a cast, yeah, it'll go south to Memphis. They open it up, it won't be pretty looking. So if I meet those 2 criteria, I get to experience something new and inventive and feel what it's like. I'll feel like an astronaut. I mean, at least my right leg will be. As long as it doesn't float up past my head, that would, unless I had tights on, like I was a gymnast or something, that might be cool, but still, I don't think you want to see me yet in spandex or tights because I haven't quite lost enough weight. So the other things that are going on, the bus. Yeah, the bus is, he's sitting there kind of saying, again? Are you ignoring me again? Boy, you're a teaser. Yeah, you get going and working on me, and then all of a sudden you ignore me. Yep, I guess I have a real way of milking projects. So I do plan on following the orders. You know, I always would think, well, you know, prosthesis, I can learn how to use those. And I kept saying, oh, you don't want to go that route, don't want to go that route. You want to hang on to this as much as you can. Well, then I found out why. Found out the mortality rate after deep bone ulcer feet amputation is 5 years maximum. You know, I don't understand that. You know, you cut off the source, you know, so why wouldn't you get more than 5 years? But I think part of it too is it's really being referred to like a type 1 diabetic, that their system has broke down so bad that their ulcers won't heal, gangrene set in, they've had to lose limbs, and probably by that point their main organs too started being compromised by the sugar diabetes disease. At least that's what I'm banking on, baby. Because, man, I need to be around, you know, not only for my son, my family. Got to see Musty One get that 66 bus out and get it done. You know, want to see Mr. Heavy Chevy's truck challenge. Like to see how that turns out. And you got Duke, small engine, man, he's going to be getting that camper soon, be traveling. He's going to be putting up some exciting videos. Can't wait. You know, I got to hang around, see my old buddy, Busman54, get out to the Beetle Barn, finish that double cab. And oh yeah, good old friend Cutworm. See him get that Triumph done, and Harold, and get that Mustang motor in there. And our Peak, yeah, who doesn't want to see him go back to the lake property and watch Honey Baby really run that boat and see how well she's handling that. Plus his buddy and neighbor Bill, who's learning how to play the banjo, you know. He's got a challenge there. He's supposed to really know some tunes, so when our Peak comes back, he can show off his skill set. So I don't plan on going anywhere, you know. I plan on following the doctor's orders. So you guys, if you don't see any progress on the bus, now you know why, you know. But we'll get there. You know, I always have. You know, the other thing, the biggest challenge, if any health challenge, is attitude. You got to have a positive attitude. You know, the thing with deep bone ulcers, and they all repeatedly say, is that your quality of life just kind of goes south to Memphis. I mean, it's a handful. You know, and then what it is too is there's a tendency then of getting depressed, getting scared, you know, and when all those emotions, negative emotions, come about, your adrenal glands, you know, secrete some things that do not promote health healing. I mean, they do the opposite. You know, it's kind of like a self-defeating prophecy. If you start thinking doom and gloom, you know, your adrenal glands say, okay, we have plenty of that. We'll just release it and give you the results you're looking for. That ain't the results I'm after. So, I bored you enough. Your choice whether you want to watch the videos on what a TCC cast process is or what it looks like, and maybe understand a little bit about deep bone ulcers. I don't show any because, you know, they're kind of hard to take on the stomach. But this is really an update, just kind of informative too. If there's any diabetics out there, man, pay attention to that A1C. You know, pay attention to your diet. You know, take care of yourself. Don't take the road that will come very easily if you don't. Alright, Busman54, we'll see you. Hey, if I get the new cast, I'll take some videos and show you my new footwear. You know, that thing is so thick. If I put all my, which I shouldn't, but if I put all my weight on that, I bet I'll be 7'1". I'm already 6'5", you know, and it looks like they put a foot of plaster on the bottom, and then they put you in this boot that looks, you know, what I might have to do really is borrow some of Cutworm's headwear, you know, like that fencing mask, because I could bump and injure my head walking through the doorway openings in my house. So I don't need a head injury along with a foot, you know, so I may have to contact my buddy Cutworm and for a time being borrow some of his headwear. So I got head protection. Alright, you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time. Busman54.